A truly beautiful mind. So, yesterday, as an introduction, little bit before we understand the chapter, we had read about this first one. What do you think of when you hear the word genius, right? Who is a genius and what qualities do you think a genius has? So, I hope you have thought of it because Albert Einstein was a genius. After him, only the name is connected of genius. But it does not mean that Albert Einstein alone he was genius. Many other famous personality in the world they are not born as genius, but their work and dedication made them genius. So some words which are connected with the word genius and the qualities, okay, we can remember as we can say mastermind, intelligent, brilliant, gifted, talented, and smarts. So these are the few words that are connected with genius. Okay, now we are going to understand, okay, about Albert Einstein, how he became genius, because this chapter is speaking about him only. And one more thing, we should know that the people are not born genius, or there are not special signs or symbol that instantly we can recognize that this person is a genius. Okay, so in paragraph 1, it says Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm without any indication that he was destined for greatness. Nobody knows in this world that they are born for doing such great works. On the contrary, his mother thought Albert was a freak. To her, his head seemed much too large. So, in this paragraph, the narrator says that Albert Einstein was born on March 14th, 1879, in Ulm, Germany. When he was born, no one expected that he would become very famous or popular. In fact, his mother too thought and looked about him as unusual because his head appeared too big for his body. Paragraph 2, continuing with the explanation. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking. When he finally did learn to speak, he uttered everything twice. Einstein did not know what to do with other children, and his playmates called him Brother Boring. So the youngster played by himself much of the time. He especially loved mechanical toys. Looking at his newborn sister Major, he is said to have said, "Fine, but where are her wheels?" So funny that he was inquiring and looking for about the wheels since he was playing with the toys. But let us understand the paragraph 2. In paragraph 2, the speaker says that when Albert Einstein was 2.5 years old, he still hadn't started talking. When he finally did speak, he would repeat everything twice. He struggled to interact with other kids of his age, who called him Brother Boring. As a result, he often played alone and had a particular fondness for mechanical toys. When he saw his baby sister, Meja, he reportedly asked, "Fine, mother, but where are her wheels?" indicating his fascination with toys and mechanics. So, connecting to this, Otto Neugebauer, okay, the historian of ancient mathematics, told a story about the boy Einstein that he characterizes as a legend. But that seems fairly authentic. As he was a late talker, his parents were very worried. At last, at the supper table one night, he broke his silence to say, "The soup is too hot." Greatly relieved, his parents asked why he had never said a word before. Albert replied, "Because up to now everything was in order." So, this was the first time when he started talking. Okay, and at the age of 2.5 years, you will see that the narrator is saying that still wasn't talking. So finally, after that, okay, on the supper table one night, he had broken the silence by saying that the soup is too hot. So this makes his parents very happy and started talking and asking with him. Then he replied, "Because up to then everything for him was in order. That's why he was not speaking. And now he is finally saying that something it is wrong. Because till then he was enjoying everything, but after that he says that as he tastes the soup, it's very hot, so he has broken the silence. So everybody was relieved that he was able to speak. Paragraph 3. The headmaster once told his father that what Einstein chose as a profession wouldn't matter because he'll never make a success at anything. Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to. He later became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining this skill throughout his life. So, extra effort he was implementing in learning. And in paragraph 3, the narrator says that once a school headmaster told that Albert Einstein's father that he would never succeed at anything in his life. Despite this, Einstein started learning to play the violin at 6 years old because he his mother wanted him to. That means motivated by the mother. Okay, that mother changed the statement and told that mother, headmaster told that you can do many things in your life. So see how motivation in what way mother was motivating her son. So he eventually became talented amateur violinist and continued to enjoy playing music throughout his life. So we should also listen to sweet songs. Chapter 4. But Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. He went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. Einstein hated the school's regimentation and often clashed with his teachers. At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled that he left the school for good. So, in this paragraph, the narrator says that Albert Einstein was not a poor student or weak student. He attended he attended or scored he attended high school in Munich which is in Germany only, where his family had moved when he was 15 months old, and he earned good grades in most of the subjects. However, he disliked the strict rules of the school and frequently disagreed with his teachers. At the age of 15, feeling trapped by the school's environment, he decided to leave that school permanently. The paragraph 5. The previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan and left their son relatives. After prolonged discussions, Stein got his wish to continue his education in German-speaking Switzerland in a city which was more liberal than Munich. So in this paragraph, the narrator says that the year before, Albert Einstein's parents had moved to Milan, leaving him with their relatives. After much discussion, he was his a more liberal city in German-speaking Switzerland, which was different from the strict environment comparing to Munich. Paragraph 6. Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics and interested in physics, and after finishing school, he decided to study at a university in Zurich. But science wasn't the only thing that appealed to the dashing young man with the walrus mustache. So, here in this paragraph, the speaker says that Albert Einstein was very talented in the subject of mathematics and very interested in physics. After finishing school, he chose to study at a university in Zurich. However, he was not only focused on science, but he had other interests as well, reflecting his charming personality. So these are the images which is shown in the book. You should see also, and some information if it is given here that I will not read, but you should read and understand. And this is not for explanation. Moving ahead, paragraph 7. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student, Meleva Merrick, in university, Meleva Merrick, whom he found to be a clever creature. This young Serb from Serbia, that's why it is indicating Serb, okay? Just like we are from India, so we are called Indian, okay? So this young Serb had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees. Einstein saw in her an ally against the Philistines, those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. The couple fell in love. Letters survive in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with tenderness. Wrote Einstein's, "How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion." So here in this paragraph, the speaker says that Albert Einstein developed a special interest in a fellow student named Meleva Merrick, whom he considered very smart. She moved to Switzerland because the University of Zurich was one of the few places in Europe where women could earn degrees. Einstein saw her as a partner against those in his family and at the university who disagreed with him. Then fell in love and exchanged letters that combined their feelings for each other with discussions about science. In one letter, Einstein expressed his happiness about their work on relativity, saying he would be proud when they completed it successfully. Paragraph 8. In 1900, at the age of 21, Albert Einstein was a university graduate and unemployed. He worked as a teaching assistant, gave private lessons, and finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. While he was supposed to be assessing other people's intentions, Einstein was actually developing his own ideas in secret. He is said to have jokingly called his desk drawer at work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. So, in this paragraph, the speaker says that in 1900, Albert Einstein graduated from the university but was unemployed. He worked as a teaching assistant and gave private lessons before getting a job in 1902 as a technical expert at the patent office in Bern. While he was supposed to review other people's inventions, he secretly worked on his own ideas. He humorously referred to his desk drawer at work as the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. Paragraph 9. One of the famous papers of 1905 was theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are absolute. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. From this followed the world's most famous formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy, that is called mc square. Okay, so in this mathematical equation, E stands for energy, M stands for mass, and C for speed of the light in a vacuum, about 300,000 kilometers per second. Sit with a nice girl. This is the situation change logically. Okay, so here it is the implication. When you sit with a very nice full girl for 2 hours, it seems like 2 minutes. That means you will not feel that the time that you have spent there, it is a long time. Okay, but you will feel just like 2 minutes. Okay, when you sit on a hot for 2 minutes, it seems like 2 hours. Relativity. Okay, Albert Einstein. So Albert Einstein's have show put forward the difference. When you sit with a beautiful and nice girl, 2 hours seems like 2 minutes. But when you sit with a difficult or just opposite, we say ugly girl, 2 minutes to sit with them. Okay, ugly uh, person, I will say, not girl, ugly person, 2 minutes to sit along with them, it seems like you are spending very long time. It's like 2 hours. So that's relativity. So in this paragraph 9, The speaker says that in 1905, Albert Einstein published his famous special theory of relativity, which time and distance are not fixed. This means that if two clocks travel at different speeds and then they will show different times. This theory led to his well-known formula, that is E equal to mc square, which explains about the relationship between mass, energy, and light speed. Paragraph 10. While Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unrevealing. Albert had wanted to Meleva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. She thought Meleva, who was 3 years older than herself, was too old for him. She was also bothered by Meleva's intelligence. Book. She is a like you, his mother said, and signed the wedding off. In this paragraph, the narrator says that while Albert Einstein was tackling complex problems in his physics, his personal life was becoming complicated. He wanted to marry Melva Maverick after finishing his studies, but his mother opposed the marriage. She believed Melva, who was 3 years older than Albert, was too old for him and was uncomfortable with her intelligence, saying, "She is a book like you." Because of this, Einstein decided to delay their wedding. Paragraph 11. The pair finally got married in January 1903 and had two sons. But a few years later, the marriage faltered. Meleva, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. After years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1909. Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. So, in this paragraph, the speaker says that Albert Einstein and Meleva Merrick finally got married in January 903 and had two sons together. However, a few years later, their marriage began to struggle. Disturbance started. Meleva lost her intellectual drive and became very unhappy as a housewife. After years of frequent argumentations, quarreling, they divorced in 1909. That same year, Einstein again married his cousin Elsa. Paragraph 12. This new personal chapter coincided with his rise to world fame. In 1905, he had published his general theory of relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity of the Sun. In 1909, proof that it was accurate. Einstein had calculated in advance the extent to which the light from fixed stars would be deflected through the Sun's gravitational field. The newspapers proclaimed his revolutions. Revolution. In this paragraph, the speaker says Einstein's new personal life began at the same time he gained international fame. In 1915, he published his general theory of relativity, which offered a new understanding of gravity. In 1909, a solar eclipse provided evidence for his theory. He had accurately predicted how much light from distant stars would bend due to the sun's gravitational pull. This success led newspapers to declare his work a scientific revolution. Chapter 13. Einstein received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. He was showered with honors and invitations from all over the world and lauded by the press. So, here in this paragraph, the narrator says that in 1921, Albert Einstein was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics. After this achievement, he received many honors and invitations from around the world, and the media praised him widely for his contribution to science. Chapter 14. When the Nazis came to power in Germany in 1933, Einstein emigrated to the United States. 5 years later, the discovery of nuclear fission in Berlin had American physics in an uproar. Many of them had fled from fascism just as Einstein had, and now they were afraid the Nazis could build and use an atomic bomb. So here in this paragraph, the narrator says that when the Nazis gained power in Germany in 1933, Albert Einstein moved to the United States. 5 years later, his discovery of nuclear fission in Berlin alarmed American physicists, many of whom had also escaped from fascism like Einstein. They feared that the Nazis might create and use an atomic bomb. Paragraph 15. At the urging of a colleague, Einstein wrote a letter to the American president Franklin D. Roosevelt on 2nd August 1939, in which he warned a single bomb of this type exploded in a port might very well destroy the whole port together with some of the surrounding territory. His words did not fail to have an effect. The Americans developed the atomic bomb in a secret project of their own and dropped it on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. So here in this paragraph, the narrator says and points out that on August 2nd, 1939, at the suggestion of a colleague, Albert Einstein wrote a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt warning about the dangers of nuclear weapons. He cautioned that a single bomb of this type could destroy an entire port and the surrounding areas. His warning had a significant impact, leading the US to develop its own atomic bomb in a secret project. This bomb was dropped on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. That means WW2, World War II. Paragraph 16. Einstein was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction. This time he wrote a public massive to the United Nations. In it, he proposed the formation of a world government. Unlike the letter to Roosevelt, this one made no impact. But over the next decade, Einstein got ever more involved in politics, agitating for an end to the arms buildup and using his popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. So, in this paragraph 16, the narrator or the speaker says that profoundly affected by the massive destruction caused by the atomic bomb. In response, he wrote a public letter to the United Nations proposing the idea of a world government However, this letter did not have any significant effect, no attention 10 years. Einstein became active in politics, advocating for the reduction of arms and using his fame to promote peace and democracy. Finally, in paragraph 17, when Einstein died in 1905 at the age of 76, was celebrated as a visionary and world as much as a scientific genius. So finally, when Albert Einstein passed away in 1955 at the age of 76. He was remembered not only as a brilliant or genius scientist but also as a visionary and a global citizen. So, finally, to sum up, we can conclude that Albert Einstein, alarmed by the potential of atomic bombs, wrote to President in 1939 urging action that led to the US developing and using in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Disturbed by the destruction, Einstein later proposed a world government to the United Nations. Through it had little effect, okay, but he became actively involved in political advocacy for armament, peace, and democracy. Upon his death in 19 Einstein was celebrated as both a scientific genius, global peace advocate. So finally, little model also we can drew up from this uh, uh, biography of Albert Einstein. We can say that the great minds can inspire significance and advocate for global change. Their efforts to address profound issues may sometimes face challenges and limited immediate impact. So this is all about a truly beautiful mind. Thank you for spending your time to understand about Albert Einstein and these here in this side the word meanings are given there. That is for you little bit you go through this word meaning and understand while I am explaining, because if I will continue it will consume more time and you will feel like brother boring. So thank you and keep interest in self studying, that will help you the best. Thank you.